Right, to the NBA, where the Warriors breezed to a gentleman's sweep over Dallas in the Western Conference Finals behind a 24-7 series from Steph Curry, who was named the MVP, winning the Magic Johnson Trophy. He's a two-time league MVP, two-time scoring champion. There's, of course, one item missing from his resume, the elusive Finals MVP, and we'll see if he is able to put that on his resume over the course of the next 2 weeks. We've got Amari Stoudemire and Vince Carter here. And, you know, VC, you played, among other teams, on the San Antonio Spurs, who we look at as a dynasty in NBA history. And I've had some debate on NBA Countdown and other places over whether or not that word applies to these Warriors. So when you look at the Splash Brothers and Draymond and Steve Kerr, that core group that's been together, at this moment in time, would you consider them a dynasty?
I do. I think they're very relevant each and every year. And it's like when you watch the finals and you don't see them there, you don't see Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond. It just seems different. And you don't see LeBron there. It just seems different. I'm just curious to wonder, Greeny, why people feel like it's not. And, and just for my knowledge, because I think this is a team six appearances in 8 years. Like, what is it then? What do you call that? Just like I think we discredit sometimes LeBron's 10 appearances. That's amazing to me. So you look at this graphic here of guys, like when you didn't see these guys in the finals, it didn't seem right. And I think we constantly see them time and time again. So they deserve to be in that dynasty conversation, in my opinion.
Yes, and the group that you're seeing up here, Russell's teams won almost all of those. Jerry West's teams did not, but Michael certainly did. Those Lakers teams won a bunch of championships. This turned into sort of an everybody yelling at each other situation last Friday night on NBA Countdown with Stephen A. and Wilbon and Jalen. The question, I guess, to you, Amari, is do they have to win this to be a dynasty? 4 championships in an 8-year span. Do they have to win this to put themselves in that kind of company?
They do. They have to win one. They have to win this one to become a dynasty team. From my understanding, dynasty teams are the teams that win 3 championships in a row. That becomes a dynasty, right? So I think the terminology of dynasty has been somewhat shifted a bit, because now you have teams that have been to the finals. With the Warriors, for example, they've been to the finals 6 times. They won, but they haven't won 3 in a row, which is a difficult thing. So what's the definition of dynasty? Does that mean 3 in a row championships, or going to the finals multiple times? That's the question I got to ask.
Well, so those Bulls teams you saw on your screen won multiple three-peats. They won back-to-back three-peats, if you will.
Right.
The Shaq and Kobe Lakers actually won 3 consecutive championships.
Correct.
They're the last team to do it, but they did not make it 6 years in an 8-year span, so that's why you don't see them on that screen. See, that's why this becomes an everybody yelling at each other situation, because dynasty is something, Vince, that everyone defines a little differently, and we can define it however we choose to define it. To me, they are clearly the preeminent team of this era. And getting back there without Durant, the fact that Durant goes, and here they are, back again, and to use my phrase, back and better than ever. And oh, by the way, this window is not closing. They figure to be certainly a contender in this for years to come. It feels to me like if they're not a dynasty right now, VC, I have a tough time figuring out who is.
Exactly. And that would be my next thing is I have a tough time figuring out who is. I mean, because of all the young talent, yes, you say Steph, Clay, and Draymond and Iggy are older, but you can now add older guys with some young talent in Poole, Kuminga, Wiggins, Moody, Payton, and then you can even say Toscano Anderson and Damian Lee, other guys. So they have a nucleus of guys who will have finals experience as they move forward and playoff experience. Not just guys just participating. We talking about Poole, Kuminga, Wiggins, and Moody, and Payton when he gets back will have finals experience, hopefully winning one, to add to what they already have in their superstar tandem or trio. If you add Iggy, they have enough to continue to move on to do this again.
I will say to you, Amari, what I said to Stephen A. and Wilbon the other night. I'm glad I never took a class in which you were the teacher, because you're a tough grader. You're a tough grader. If you've got to win 3 in a row to be considered a dynasty in your book, then we're talking about just a tiny little sliver. Those Magic Johnson teams never won 3 in a row. The Larry Bird Celtics teams, who didn't appear on that graphic there, never won 3 in a row. That is a very, very tough mark that you're asking people to make.
Well, here's the thing. When I was growing up, when the Bulls was winning 3 in a row, they were considered a dynasty team.
Yeah.
When the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe won 3 in a row, that was considered to be a dynasty team.
Right.
Now, due to the circumstances now in this era, okay, the Warriors are, the top team right now, right? But LeBron James himself is a dynasty. Right?
Yes.
Everywhere he goes, he wins championships. The guy has 4 championships. You know what I'm saying? So in this era, LeBron James himself is a dynasty.
He made 8 finals appearances in 8 seasons consecutively. Jalen actually tried to make that argument on TV that LeBron is his own dynasty, and Stephen A. yelled at him so loudly that he drowned out the 20,000 people in the arena. So that's pretty much what my life has been like lately. All right, speaking of yelling at each other. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.